Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of So What You Hear. I'm Jay.
I'm Tiff.
And Craig's a little under the weather, so he's not in here this time. Kicking things off, the AFC has been absolutely on fire. Like, the NFC has stuff going on, but it's kind of a lot of the same. The AFC just looks like they don't know what they want to do, who they want to be good, who they don't want to be good. Starting with what they had, like 1 or 2 wins last year. The Houston Texans?
The Texans, yeah.
Playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I wanted to make sure this was first for us to talk about this week because me and Craig talked about it last week. And the whole narrative is C.J. Stroud has been amazing, but who have they played? If they beat the Bengals this weekend, that's a legit team.
Yeah.
That makes them a legit team.
Yeah. And they beat them.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
That was pretty much, that was
like,
an amazing game.
I mean, it's not like the Bengals made it easy for them. It's not like they went in there and just like, no, it was a hard-fought game. Like, it went back and forth. It was a really good game. And Stroud looked good.
Stroud looks amazing.
Like, it was a single. He broke a record.
That wasn't this week.
That wasn't the game. I knew that.
I think, the week before.
I did know that.
Single season rookie record. It was like 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think he missed 5 passes.
I mean, he's only had 2 interceptions.
The entire season.
The whole season. So, I mean,
and so that's when you start to go from this kid is clearly rookie of the year to is this kid the MVP?
MVP.
I mean, this team was terrible.
Now, the thing about rookies is we don't really have that much. You got to go to college and stuff like that. There's not that many footage on them. So next year, to me, I think the second, especially the third year, tells you more about the resilience because people know who they are and they know what they're getting into. Their expectations are at the appropriate level, And you get it, you might have high expectations, but then you might be like, as a rookie, it's Texans, But now, I mean, you have to take them seriously, though.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And I mean, you look at, because if you break down some of the tape, even from that perspective, there were plays where, as you get tape on people, you start to have to change the play you make because people know what your tendency is on this. They've got tape of him already making the adjustment play.
Yeah.
So even if people get to see the film, he made that one out corner where he dropped it in between 2 dudes. I think it was supposed to be the shallow route was who he was supposed to go to. But he saw an opportunity. His vision is insane, and he dropped it. Perfect pass. So you watch the film, and you go, oh, okay, we've got to... Well, then he just runs the fundamental play.
But then everyone has little tells. Things they do before they do certain things. He might look more than they realize he looks at things,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that all... takes time.
I'll give you that.
I'm impressed. I think.
And I can't say anything. I'm not gonna negative the Bengals. We're gonna kind of get to them a little bit more because they've got a Thursday night, and we go over that later. We'll cover that a little more. But I mean, they did. The Bengals marched down and scored a touchdown in the "I'm Joe Burrow, we're the Bengals, we're championship team caliber team." Beat that. C.J. Stroud said, "Okay," came down and got a field goal and won the game.
What's the Bengals record?
4-5.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, 5-4. 5-4.
So they have the same record. Yeah.
That's a heck of a game. The Texans are a team you should be scared of.
Yeah,
they're scary.
I think it's definitely legit, especially like I said, because I think they've been bad for so long.
Yeah.
It's hard to take them seriously.
Basically. They've never. Really good, good team.
Sprinkles of really good seasons, but not. Yeah, I mean, Watts.
I mean, Deshaun had a couple of
good seasons, but not I don't know. They scare people every once in a while. You have to think.
Well, and I like that it went back and forth. They had to fight for it because as we move into the next game, we see a team that if they don't blow you out, they can't beat you.
And what game is that?
The Bills and the Broncos.
The
fraudulent, fraud alert Bills. If Josh Allen doesn't blow you out, he can't beat you.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to show more. Well, I think it's funny because it's the opposite of the Cowboys' problem. They lose the bad teams, teams that they should just go and just
demolish. They lose.
Curb stomp. They lose to.
And then they play a good team.
A very aggressive team. This is gonna be a tough game, and they beat. I mean, they beat Miami, not even by a little bit.
Even on some of the other teams that they've lost to, there's been they lost to Jacksonville, who's one of the better teams.
Yeah.
So why couldn't you? Because we all, it was the jet lag of London. Well, they weren't. They still jet lagged.
But that was the beginning. I think Jacksonville would start getting better.
They're sent up.
So,
but
yeah,
you fire offensive coordinator. Okay, I will say it seems like Josh Allen is dropping back and the play doesn't work too often. Yeah. So I can see that's why you fire the offensive coordinator.
Some of the sloppy fumbles, that's
bad handoffs. Yeah, that's not the running back letting you just rip it out of your hands. Josh Allen throwing passes that Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and Troy Aikman pretty much simultaneously said,
"Why would you throw that?
Nobody should ever have thrown that ball. Like, why would you throw that? That was the worst throw in the world."
And I think sometimes luck makes you build confidence. So he's throwing balls before that he shouldn't have thrown. But the person you want them to catches it, or that goes your way. So now you're thinking this is a good idea.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of your point with film too. When you have a cannon like Josh Allen does, sometimes, especially early, you can get away because I'm only a half a step away from this guy. There's no way he's going to throw it, and guys kind of get on their heels because you shouldn't be able to make the throw, even with me on my heels.
Yeah.
And when he guns it in, you're like, oh, crap. But the problem is, now the next time we play, I know you will try to make this play, so I'm on my toes. Your arm's not that good.
And they know he throws picks.
I know you throw picks. Everybody's looking to jump your routes.
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting to jump for that ball because, he might throw this.
I think they start to give him fake cushions.
Yeah, because if you give him a cushion.
But then the closer that's just football, but I think they know him.
He does not seem to have an answer.
No, and I think he's humbled himself a little bit because before, when he gets in those type of situations, he had this smirk of
I messed up, it'll be fine.
And he'll throw a pick right
now
after
he's starting
that.
to throw picks, and now he throws a pick, but that's not a good thing either. That's when you start to get in the Donovan McNabb Romo sense of you can't start preemptively thinking, because you could tell when McNabb started having a bad game. You could see his face turn into. So it's going to be one of them games.
Yeah.
You could see when Romo had our bad start, the almost like, oh, God, this again. You can't do that because that's going to make you keep playing like that.
Now you're the one who's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, now you are throwing the pick because you're trying not to, and that's not going to work.
They're 5-5, and it's just
in a division where even a team that's struggling like the Jets is pushing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the Bills might end up at the bottom of that division.
That's crazy. The Jets, every time you think the Jets, they're almost like the Steelers. They're bumbling through it, but they're winning, kind of like.
Yeah. The difference is they don't have the superstar Hall of Fame quarterback. The Steelers don't have, what the Jets are trying to get back. It makes sense the Jets
they have
are bumbling through.
Just wait long enough for Rodgers.
Yeah, we'll be fine, but
they're waiting for the savior. They don't have that. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised about the Bills, and then
I'm surprised at the Broncos.
I was just about
because I'm going to actually just move it straight into the whole AFC West altogether, not just the Broncos themselves, because it's the whole division is getting wow.
I mean, that is true. The Raiders are starting to look better,
and they're what?
They're 5-5 now, but
they're a game and a half behind the Chiefs, basically.
I mean, think about how bad the Raiders have looked, beginning of the season, and they have the same record as the Bills.
Yeah.
I just think that...
And now we're starting to see real football for them. Their stars are starting to produce.
They start they're having fun.
And, that could be... There's 7 games. 7 games is a lot of football.
You never know. And because even with the Broncos, I feel like, I'm a Sean Payton fan. I think he is a hell of a coach. I really wanted Dallas. Let me call. Even way back when he got suspended, he was sitting at the Dallas games. He's right there, Jerry. Do that. So, and it's nice to see, with Russ, I think Russ is starting to build his confidence back. He's starting to look like
the offense is starting to look like they have an idea what they're doing collectively and not just individuals trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
That defense is so nasty.
That defense is sick. So, it's starting
to
be
now they're starting on their comeback.
The last 3 games.
I'm sorry, the Chargers are terrible, and it doesn't matter how good they play. They could give you 50 points and they will let the other team score 55. They could hold a team to 3 points, and they won't even be able to put up a field goal. Whatever they do successfully, some other facet of their team blows it. If the coach is actually making good calls, which I'm sorry, Brandon Staley, I think you're going to get fired because some of these situations, I'm watching film and I'm watching shows and they're showing breakdowns, and it's fourth quarter and you're getting missed assignments. Okay, maybe their offense confused you first quarter, second quarter, by third, fourth quarter, you can't be leaving dudes wide open.
Yeah.
That's coaching discipline.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, yeah. And
they're next to get rid of a coach.
I think he's going by the end of the year. Like, I don't know if they're going to fire him early because they don't lose bad enough. It's not like they get blown out, but it's the fact that it doesn't matter if it's a good team, bad team, something's going to happen, they're going to lose. And they were supposed to be a favorite. And then the Chiefs' offense, like, yeah, they have one of the better defenses in the league, but Denver just beat them.
Yeah.
So that hurts them. That's a divisional loss.
They're 7-2, so they do have a lead.
Leeway.
The next people,
it's
the
5-5. Well, part of that is bye.
But you know how that goes. You will lose the next, they win the next, and now we're like, that's 6-5, and now you're 7. Yeah.
The amount of teams that people are talking about that have the Chiefs on their schedule, and that's going to be tough for them because they're good teams that are trying to make playoff pushes, trying to win divisions. Well, you got to look at that flip side. If Kansas City struggles at all, there's a lot of really good teams that are proving themselves against you.
Yeah.
And when you have the Raiders just taking off like this, and the Broncos looking like they're just progressively getting better.
Now, in fair, like I said, the Jets, they have a winning record, but no, they don't even have a winning record anymore. They're 4-5. So it's the Jets. They have no offense. They beat the Giants. So I'm just saying. So they're not the last two teams are great teams.
30-6.
But they really,
it's 30-6 on the Giants.
Close, though.
The Jets have probably 16, top 3 defense. Yeah, if not very 1 or 2. Defense. And they put up 20. They put up 16 points on them.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of teams that are struggling to score 10 points on the Jets.
Yeah.
So an offense that's not that great, which the Raiders' offense isn't, still put up 16 on them. Their defense held them to 12. And they beat the brakes off the Giants.
It makes you wonder a little bit if they would have kept Carr.
Yeah, to have a little bit more spark on offense, give them maybe a 25-point game.
Because now they don't even really have a quarterback. Who's the
Aiden O'Connell, rookie. I guess it's one of them things as he plays, hopefully you'll see him getting better. But I don't know. I don't think – I've seen people that are like, oh, I think the kid's pretty good. From what I've seen, I don't think he's good.
We'll see. Yes, they're going to have to play somebody difficult. But, it's football. That's why I love football. You never know.
There is a chance with how things are going. The Chargers could end at the bottom of the division, and the Broncos could be pushing for a playoff spot, if not the division.
Yeah, that's the thing about the AFC as a whole. If you look at the AFC records, they're all
very tight.
Very tight.
The whole until you get to the AFC South.
The Pats are 2-8. They're the only ones really. The Pats and the Titans at this point are
the only ones that are completely all right, y'all are probably out of this.
Yeah.
And the Titans, they've been dealing with a lot of adversity, and they basically just figured out who their quarterback is.
They can go on a tear. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but they can go on a tear and keep winning. Who knows? Seriously, who knows?
They have cap problems this year. They've been doing. They kind of thought this was going to be. You talk to any Titans fan, you hear them do interviews, you kind of watch how their off season was moving. It was going to be a hard year. They didn't have a lot of cap space to make themselves better. The team had some holes. Their offensive line ain't great. Their passing attack wasn't very good. But this offseason, they have almost $150 million in cap space. Yeah. You already have Henry. You already have D-Hop. You now figured out who your quarterback, because you're definitely going forward with Will Levis. You take that $100 million in a draft and get maybe another wide receiver, redo the line, add a couple pieces in defense. They could come back with a Super Bowl team.
So you think this is the quarterback?
I think this is the quarterback. I think this is it. This kid's he's tough. He's got a hell of an arm. And they don't run a team that needs, even if he never can turn into a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, they're not that kind of team.
Yeah.
They need a guy that can hit the play action on 35. And Will Levis can do that. They need a guy that makes safeties have to play back and not be able to crowd the box for Derrick Henry because he has an arm strong enough to hit you 83 yards down.
Yeah.
And, Will Levis can drop the ball from goal line to goal line if he wants to. His arm is insane.
He has a hell of an arm.
But I think that's going to, But that the AFC altogether is just crazy. But that West, I'm really...
Yeah, because the NFC, I think the gap between...
Yeah, you kind of know who's going to win each
really
division.
Good and bad is...
The NFC East is a little bit more of the back and forth with Philly and Dallas. But
that's all Philly. Dallas is doing what they do.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're playing for a playoff spot.
There's 7 games left, and you're only 2 games
It is 7 games left. We still got to play them again, but I'm just keeping it. They're 8-1, so until this starts to happen, I can only go by what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can only go by what we're seeing. They're 8-1. It's difficult to say I'm stuck right here, but it's the truth shall set you free, you know.
But
I mean,
yeah.
Even 49ers. I mean, Dallas and 49ers have the same record, but like I feel like the really good teams, they're all kind of close, and then like the South, I don't even know. The South is like
they're just so bad.
Like it's just really bad.
AFC and NFC, which is funny because I feel like football in the South is so big. You figure the teams would be better, but I guess you don't technically get the kids from the area.
Yeah, they go other places.
All the kids from Georgia are in Philly.
Yeah, they go to other places. But like, what we got? We got Minnesota, right?
I'm hearing that maybe Brie Lawson was there.
Brie Lawson was there.
Because we saw Marvels in Minnesota. It was insane.
I was like, Brie Lawson there.
I like that. Y'all like that. But no, I mean, Josh Dobbs is that dude. Tennessee, you got Will Levis now, but you could have kept with Dobbs after he came in and won you, 2 games last year, all for nothing. I get y'all like Arizona. Y'all like Kyler Murray. I think we've seen when Kyler Murray was playing, he wasn't playing as well as Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is
struggling.
struggling.
He only played 1 game, but like this season. But I just didn't think. I mean, it's 1 game, so I'm gonna give.
Well, but I mean, we've seen him before he got hurt too, and a lot of running around, a lot of wow, this kid's athletic. But then when it comes down to like, can you actually run a play as a quarterback?
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I think if you said no, there is no scramble. You need to run. This is the play. I think it would be an interception or a turnover every goddamn play.
But there is a scramble, and you have to make time to get the ball where you want to go. Like the line's not a great line. That's why Dobbs.
And Dobbs made stuff happen.
But they still were losing. They were losing as a team. So
Dobbs didn't lose to everybody.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Anyway, I think.
But
that's fine.
I wasn't trying to take a shot.
I think that was
he did beat a decent team with a crappy Arizona team.
That was a shot.
I don't think Kyler Murray beat y'all. You redo that game with Kyler Murray, I don't think y'all lose.
I don't think it was just Dobbs or I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway,
well, I guess the next thing to cover with that Minnesota is with Dobbs balling out the way he is. I mean, the Saints again. It's kind of like with the Jets. Like that's a really good defense. So like, yeah, they're not a great team, but that's a good defense, and he balled on them.
Yeah.
And they have this massive, like, infinity gauntlet weapon that's sitting on the bench with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And so now you come into, like, so when does he come back? Because how good are they? Do you hold him out and just be like, dude, we want you as fresh as possible for the playoffs? Like, wait, we're going to see if we start struggling, we'll go ahead and put you back, but we'd like to make sure you're fresh. Do you go ahead and just throw him in so that maybe there's a rapport? Like,
I think it depends on how healthy he is. Like if he, I think if he gets like the green light, like he's fine, he can play, like and he's in good shape, he can go play. Then you have him go play. Like you don't want him just sitting there and getting rusty or whatever like that. You have him go play. But if you're teetering on like he can play, but if you do this, it's gonna be worse. If you do that, then you let him sit and get healthy. I think you wait for the green light. Either way, does that make sense?
Yeah,
like
I said, 100% healthy, not even a little bit
something
of
like
Jefferson
on
the side.
The sideline if he's healthy. Like no,
I would say you want him and Dobbs to get a rapport,
a relationship.
Dobbs doesn't seem like he needs time to get rapport.
Yeah, but everybody that person. Is this gonna be my person? Then you need to find that out as soon as possible. Like let's go make some, maybe some football babies. Let's do this. Yeah. And
I've been hearing that Kirk Cousins is basically like. Whatever info you need, whatever, I'm here. If you need something that ain't football related, call me. I'm here, and Kirk Cousins is that guy. So
where do you think Cousins? Do you keep Cousins for loyalty, or do you?
I don't think you do. Yeah. I mean, technically his contract's up. You're not going to go right up a new contract,
right? Yeah.
You're not going to go right up a new contract when you have a guy that's clearly
so
arm talent just as good, but has legs and is younger.
So where do you think he goes?
Maybe New England. I could see New England thinking it's a better idea to go for the vet and try to rebuild than keep trying to go for the young kids because they've clearly been struggling with the young kid perspective. Bailey Zappi doesn't look that great. Mac Jones doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
Like you've got to do something with that. So I could see them maybe like, well, let's get a vet and try to get this back on track. The Raiders. Again, another team that just doesn't seem to have a quarterback. Like, I mean, we're talking about possibly making a playoff push, but, like, they don't really have that great of a quarterback so far. And with how they are pushing in the record, their draft pick might end up being later.
Yeah.
So
then you have him, and then you can get a rookie quarterback.
And let him kind of like groom him a little bit. That's, yeah.
Because you was like, hell no with the Giants, right?
No, I'm done with veterans. We need the future.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta let the future grow. You think Jones can mold a young mind when he really is a mental, to me, he's a mental rookie. I don't think he ever got to grow himself.
Well, I don't think either. I don't think he did either. I think we kept changing coaches.
He is more mature than he was when he first started, but I don't know. I think this is such a bad. I feel sorry for him because you never really wanted him anyway.
Not really, nah. Duke is not a football school.
Yeah.
I just don't get how you put your franchise on a Duke quarterback. No.
Unless he's amazing, right?
In the ACC, ooh.
All right, what's next? And speaking of Giants.
Oh yeah, speaking of Giants, we just got our ass handed to us.
I'm going to apologize on behalf of the Cowboys because that was just mean. I thought we weren't allowed to bully anyone.
And you already beat us like that the first time.
That, they kept scoring. I'm like,
perfect example on why. I'm sorry, it just hit me. Here's an example on why I'm done with Jones.
Okay.
First game of the season, what was the score?
It was 40-0, I think.
0.
Yeah.
This game was 49-17. Tommy DeVito put up 17 against y'all. Daniel Jones couldn't get us in field goal range.
Yeah, but some of that 17 was the game was.
Even when the game was over, y'all put up 40 points on us in almost the first half in the first game. Y'all had third string defense in by the fourth quarter, and he still couldn't even get us in field goal range.
Yeah. I don't think that was a unit. I don't think that was just him.
Then why did Terrell Pryor has 2 touchdowns in one game?
Yeah. Tommy
DeVito has 2 touchdowns in one game. Daniel Jones has 2 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
He kind of freaks out early.
He panics. I don't know if we might have screwed him up. It might be our fault.
I think they shell talk him. He's nervous. As soon as he sees somebody coming, his brain is
panics.
Go.
And I don't know what the panic is.
So he never sees the field. He never sees where everyone's
He's looking for the blitz instead of looking for open receivers.
Yeah.
And you're not going to win like that.
Yeah. So, and then, like I said, Dallas can abuse the lower tier teams all day long. They just get Arizona, they should have beat Arizona. I think they went in there we already won.
Yeah.
And they lost.
The opposite a little bit better.
Yeah. So I think they dog these lower tier teams. But then but this is when you need to show off. This is where and then San Francisco, Philly. I mean, if there was 5 more minutes in the Philly game, who knows? But there wasn't 5 more minutes in the Philly game, and you lost. It's an L. When it comes to really good teams, it's not there, and it needs
Which
to
that
be
means
there.
it's mental.
Yeah.
And the problem is, because honestly, like I said, I've said before, physically, I think Dak is a good quarterback. But the problem is, you can't out-uncoach mentally.
They tell him early, we need this, you got to play your best.
That's it. Dak plays terrible.
It's worst game.
If they can come out and say, we don't need shit from you, Dak, you're good.
They talked to him that San Francisco game when they went and talked to him. That's probably the worst thing that could happen to him. You can't let him know your expectations early.
As soon as he feels like they need me to do this, he plays terrible.
Our defense, if our defense is having a difficult time, then your offenses have got to step up. And they feed off their defense. And but defense proved themselves the last games. They need you to do the same. They got to keep giving you the ball. You can't just.
I think y'all's defense would do better in the AFC, because I think that's part of the problem. Your defense is set up to dog passing teams, which a lot of times means you got to have a lead because you need teams to pass, or you have to be playing the Bills. I think y'all would smash the Bills. Why? Because the Bills don't run. Period. Yeah. They throw every play. And teams like that aren't going to beat you.
Yeah.
But y'all aren't in the AFC. You're in the NFC. Philly runs the fuck out of the ball. San Francisco runs the hell out of the ball. Even Minnesota runs the ball. We're in a conference that a lot of tough play and your defense isn't set up to really deal with that. But when you're playing against tough run the ball teams, they usually score slower. So your offense should be able to do, and
Yeah.
They can't. When that happens, they just can't.
Yeah. And just who we played this week?
You play Carolina.
Okay, so I don't want to play because I don't like being like that. But
I think it's Carolina, Washington, then Philly.
It's Washington, yeah, and then some of those I think Philly got I don't really like luck. But I think that one fumble that went back to Hurts,
and then the other one that squirted away from everybody and fell on the lineman.
Those turnovers, and we weren't getting those turnovers. Yeah. But I mean, you I don't know.
But see, and this is what I'm saying, because of how close that last game is, I don't think that oh God, we have to be better feeling is going to be there. I can see y'all beating them. But when you go into it the first time, like God, this is Philly. I have to play my best. We have to beat them. And what happens? Things just Dak steps out of bounds instead of diving for the end. Shoemaker gets it just his knee hits. It was Shoemaker, yeah. His knee hits right before the ball hits the plane. By this much.
Yeah.
Because you're trying too hard. But I don't think y'all are going to do that because I really believe y'all's demeanor after that first Philly game is y'all barely beat us at home because of luck.
They're a good team. I see it. They look like when it's on, it's on. But
they just can't.
We need it on.
Not being able to turn it on purpose is the difference between a good team and a championship.
Yeah, you gotta turn it on. I need to turn it on. I'm ready for another ring.
Good teams have that.
Man is lonely. We need another ring.
Good tiers have a 6th gear that they can get to. Great teams, championship teams, can go to 6th gear when they want to. And I think y'all are going to have to get that when I want to.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
So, what do you think the future of the Giants need to be? What do you think?
I think we need to spend 90... there's problems on our defense, but I think most of the problem of our defense is our offense is completely useless. So you have defensive players overcompensating to make stops because... if we don't get a turnover on every play, if we don't get a sack on every play, if we don't do the most on every play as a defense, we're going to lose. Our offense can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then you start blowing coverages. You start over-pursuing. You start having problems. I think that they got together a decent receiving core. Darren Waller's got some injury problems, but, I don't think he needs to be that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt is showing that he's talented if a guy can get him the ball. Slayton is playing pretty good when the ball gets to him. Paris Campbell looks pretty good. Daniel Bellinger's a good receiving tight end. And then, obviously, Saquon Barkley is a great running back.
So, then what do you think that needs to happen next year?
Our center needs to get healthy, which will be fine. He's a rookie. He'll be better. That'll be fine next year. Andrew Thomas missed most of the year, which is our left tackle. That's a big loss. That'll be back. That'll be fine. Our guards are trash. We need 2 new guards. And we need 2 good guards.
Yeah.
Our right tackle is trash. Evan Neal is not good. We need a new one. And we need a star quarterback. We need to stop getting these he's going to win us something because he works hard. Yeah. Guess what? Patrick Mahomes works hard too, and he's really talented.
Yeah. So who you have in mind?
Caleb Williams.
Williams.
I personally, I like Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, but I got to look up on this because I keep saying I don't think he's coming out in this draft, but I still haven't gone back and double-checked it. I don't think he's coming out in this draft. And if I had to pick between... not Desmond Ridder. If I had to pick between Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix, Rattler. Not Ridder, it's Rattler. That's his name. Or Rattler. Bo Nix and Rattler are kind of old. I'm sorry. I don't want a 25, 26-year-old quarterback just starting. You got guys that have been in the league 4 years that are younger than you. That you're already, no. And Drake May looks good.
That's maturity in that,
but it doesn't give the superstar.
There's a maturity to that, though.
Yeah, but sometimes it's better for you to hit that maturity in the league because you're maturing for college kids.
I don't know. That's like Warren, right?
Who?
What's the quarterback?
Warren Moon?
No. Oh my God, my brain just shot. The Rams. Oh my God, my brain just shot.
Matthew Stafford?
No, an old quarterback for the Rams. He didn't.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
My brain totally.
But he played arena, and he's a phenomenon.
Still,
that's not the same thing.
I don't know. There's still maturity comes with it. You're already ready.
Yeah.
You already have success.
So how did Tommy Maddox go? Because he had pretty much the same thing. How about let's go with a Cowboys quarterback. How did Brandon Whedon do?
That's different.
Yeah.
Romo came in a little bit, he was on the bench.
But he was on the bench. He was in the NFL. He wasn't about a bunch of children. you're not going to mature that much still in college because you're surrounded by nothing but children.
I got you. I mean, so
you have no maturity to really compare yourself to.
Against the children.
I want a superstar, and it looks like Caleb Williams. Like I said, I like Michael Penix. I'd rather have Michael Penix. I think that Michael Penix is going to be an absolute dog.
And you don't want to go one more year, though.
No. We do that. We might as well start waiting and see if we can just get the other Manning.
What year is he in?
He'll be in a second. He still hasn't had to play yet.
Baby, right? Yeah, he hasn't played yet.
Because Quentin Ewers kept the job. I think Quentin Ewers is leaving too, so he should get it next year. Because if he doesn't, I'm hearing that he might transfer portal. But that's speculation.
All right, what's that?
But next, we're going to start moving to the AFC North because big game this weekend that they just had, Browns-Ravens. This really sucks for the Browns. Like, they play an amazing game. They beat a division rival. They close the gap a little bit. They're, like, right behind them, 6-3. The Ravens are 7-3. Deshaun Watson plays 2.5 quarters with a broken shoulder, and now is gone for the year. Like,
and
that
he's complaining
sucks.
about that shoulder. They weren't taking it seriously.
I mean, they haven't said they're leaked, but it does seem funny that they were giving him crap because he kept saying his shoulder was hurt, and they said they seemed fine. And then the first real full game back, he breaks the shoulder.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, oh man, you finally put yourself back in playoff contention. You're in the position where you could be fighting for the division.
I mean, and that was a good game. That was a very
comeback,
well fought. We want this more than you want this. I mean, it was football.
Yeah.
Like it really was. Like it, very last second.
Yeah.
It was very intense. But
just to have it not matter.
That's how it goes sometimes. Like
and
it's crazy.
And then it's the Ravens. Like, yeah, you're 7-3. You're the top of that division, but like you can't feel great that you're still having.
I don't know because their last 2 games they look really good. They look very good. The Ravens did the last game. Sometimes you need games like this to kind of
still having problems with Lamar turning the ball over.
Sometimes you need games like this to put stuff in perspective.
Well, that's true.
Because that's why I think going to the Thursday night game, this Thursday night game is going to be a really good game because the way the Bengals lost and the way the Ravens lost, nobody wants that to happen again. And I think I think that's going to be a really good. I'm very excited.
If the Bengals lose this game, I think their chances of I'm not even going to say the division playoffs. Like they're 5-4. If they drop to 5-5,
the division because
if they drop to 5-5, they could be looking at missing the playoffs.
This is a very tight division, so you don't want to lose a division game in already a very tight conference.
The Raiders are getting themselves together. The Broncos are getting themselves together. You got to believe that the Chargers are going to try to make another push. We got to see what the Browns can do with the rookie.
But did he win? He won, right?
I think he did win one of the games. The first game he came in. I think he did win a game, but then he still looked really rocky, though. But, I mean, you don't know how that's going to go. That could pan out. No matter how crappy the Steelers look. And, I think that luck of them winning looking like crap is going to run out. I think the Steelers are going to end up
I think the Bengals are starting to look an extremely good team. So, even the fact
sometimes you can be a really good team and have your... look at the Chargers. They're a very good team, but the record's just not going that way.
I don't think they look that great.
But,
they look good at spurts. I think this is going to be a good game. So who do you think is going to win this Thursday night? I think the Bengals might.
I'm going to go Bengals. I don't see them losing again, and I still have to see Lamar win and play a proving game. I've seen Lamar play very, very good. I've seen superstar talent, even with his arm, which I hadn't seen before the season. But I still haven't seen him in, like we were saying about Dak. I haven't seen him in a proven. You have to play phenomenal.
There's an elephant on your back.
I don't see him win those games.
He's up choking and throwing up all over himself. And he's the reason. He's one of the main components why they lose.
He's turning the ball over. When we beat him last year, it was a strip fumble. We stripped him and got the ball. I've seen him throw. He fumbles and he gets strip sacked a lot because he's trying too hard.
Yeah. And
I think that's going to cause him to lose the game.
And go down.
I'm going to pick the Bengals, but I will say that if the Ravens have a shot at the playoffs and have a real Super Bowl shot, you're going to have to see Lamar be that guy this time. So if Lamar can be that guy, I think the Ravens might win. But I'm not going to give the Ravens that benefit until I see him do it.
Because I think Burrow's the opposite. I feel like the more
pressure, the better he plays.
The better, right when you're like, oh, he's done. This is it.
You go to Joe Burrow and say, you have to have the best game you've ever had.
Like, ooh, look at my bag of tricks.
He doesn't have the best
game
he's ever had. I don't see he does that. Yeah. So, okay, we need y'all to play amazing because Tennessee's a good team, and this is the playoffs. They lost.
Yeah, so I'm not counting honestly, like I said, I picked the Bengals, but I'm not counting the Ravens out. I can see Ravens very much.
This is very much a show me, and I won't be surprised, but I'm gonna need you to show me.
I'm gonna be really upset. This is not a good game because, I feel like this should be a very good Thursday game.
Yeah,
and I think that being said, I think that's it.
I think that's about
I got
everything for this week. Go into seeing more playoff pushes and see what comes out.
I love football.
I do. This is so much fun. This is the greatest
game ever.
But yeah. But all right, for the rest of y'all watching, if y'all could go ahead and like, maybe comment, subscribe, shout us out or whatever, and check us out on Instagram and YouTube too, or Twitter too.
Yeah, let us know if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. I can
argue with me.
I can handle it.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.